All right, folks, good evening and a warm welcome to everybody. I am Citizen Jones. Let me quickly meet the team. Jide, I haven't seen you since this year, have I?
Not seen me this year.
I'm asking. Okay.
The viewers can testify that you've seen
No,
me this year.
it's okay. We can't quarrel over it. Maybe it is Cyril. Cyril, I just wanted to tell you, Jide's former governor has the first female ADC, and that's so it's something. I'm looking at the woman behind the man, pretty woman.
He's breaking new grounds, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe that's meant to attract me back home, eh?
All right, come on, let's get cracking. Welcome, one and all. On the program today, federal government moves to reverse visa restriction on Nigeria. The United States warns that Nigeria would repay $318 million Abacha loot if it is restolen, just as the federal government plans to use fund for Lagos-Ibadan expressway. And then, of course, we'll share this with you. Nigerian Air Force unleashes new killing machines against Boko Haram as Governor Zulum orders massive reconstruction of communities destroyed by terrorists. No detailing, the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay then, you know, the travel restriction placed on Nigerians by the American authorities was bound to ruffle many a feather. It does raise a number of queries, one of which is, did we see it coming? Now, the visa restriction came late January and would come into effect on February 21st, meaning Nigerian passport holders would be denied entry into American soil at that time, from that date. Happily, though, the federal government is making moves to have the visa restriction reversed. President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged to address the security issues raised by the U.S. in its query. The way to go?
Yes. Many Nigerians are not aware that there is no general visa ban on our country by the United States. What we have is visa restriction.
Okay.
And the class of visa applicants that this affects is those seeking a migrant visa, those seeking permanent residency in America. These are the people they call immigrants.
Okay, immigrants.
Yes,
okay.
those who want to, they are seeking permanent residency in America. In the year 2018, 140,000 Nigerians got visas to enter America.
As immigrants?
No, not permanent.
Okay,
residency. Not those seeking permanent residency.
Okay.
Those seeking permanent residency, just 8,000 of them.
Okay. Okay.
Were given visas.
Okay.
Whereas 140,000 Nigerians just visiting America, got visas. But if you are seeking what they call the immigrant visa B1, B2, you are the one affected by this. So what we are saying is,
meaning
just 5%.
In the layman's language, you are seeking.
You are visiting America. You are a student. You are visiting America to continue your studies. You are a businessman. You are visiting America to transact business. You are visiting America to greet loved ones. You are visiting America to enjoy yourself.
Okay.
During your holidays.
I like that.
You are not going to be affected.
I like that last one. So
yes,
Nigerians
because you wish to go there, right?
Oh, come on.
Now, that's 140,000 represented 95% of visa applicants that the American embassy gave visas to. That is the other category of applicants, those who are not seeking permanent residency. Now, only the other group that this restriction order affects, they account for just 5%. 5%. So there are people who are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill on this matter. Yes, I do not want to see any form of restriction. I believe that our government can handle that. But trying to make it look like bigger than it is is what I frown against. This is not people who are schooling in America, people who are transacting business in America, they are free to go to America.
Even as we speak.
Yes. Yeah. There's no form of there's a binational commission that has been set up to address this matter between both countries. Our Minister of Justice, Malami, the Foreign Affairs Minister, both of them were in the U.S. to meet with U.S. officials, on this matter. And the Minister of Interior is convinced that this matter will be resolved soon in favor of the Nigerian people.
Cyril, let's steer the bag and see where the Americans got pushed, in a manner of speaking, to taking this decision. Number one, security concerns.
Of course. They cited what they refer to as inability to carry out adequate information sharing. I think it boils down...
Sharing, that's for people who are headed this way.
That's the source, but the issue is, how do you tell who a Nigerian is? In the present instance, I think it's a bit difficult. In fact, if you follow the rhetoric coming from the Senate, I think the chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs or so, as well as its spokesman, there was something one of them tagged as citizenship integrity, which is something we lack basically. Perhaps a project like the National Identity Card Management should have helped us to solve these issues.
That's it.
But Citizen Jones, that project has been in pipeline for only God knows how long. This is a country, so I am even a bit worried that on the security and political side of it, or leadership, would we be able to now overnight be able to tell who is who? Our borders are extremely porous, and so on.
And sorry, most of the time we talk about Nigeria and brinkmanship.
No, of course it's
on
there.
the spur of the moment, reacting when we had all the time in the world to...
Because some of these reasons, it's not just Nigeria. Eritrea is there, Tanzania is there, Kyrgyzstan is there, Sudan, Kyrgyzstan, Sudan, Tanzania, and so on. There are standard operating protocols for issues like this. They don't just boil into the open. So, as a nation, collaborating with Interpol is beautiful. Seeking, these global partnerships and looking for ways to. But I think that the main challenge will be solved by looking inwards. What is the thing we should have done that we have left undone? And how can we retrace our steps to get what should be done indeed done? I think that, if we start from there, we would be able to... The reality is this, Citizen Jones. There are a lot of people today in Nigerian cities. You walk up to them, they can't speak a single word of a Nigerian language.
Yet they're carrying our passport.
That is the problem. And so what one of the senators even said was that even on the national ID card scheme, that it's possible that the total number of Nigerians on the database are not even up to 25% of all of Nigerians. And that a number of them are not may not even be actual nationals.
Cyril, put simply, we saw this coming.
Of course we did. From miles away. We should have... we did see it coming.
Did we really see it coming?
No. You were hoping they will not matter, but you saw them coming because you didn't do what you are supposed to.
The way it is now, well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. We've been nudged by America to do what is right. We should have a system by which we can recognize our own people. We should not be wide open to all comers because that's what it looks like now. People coming through our land borders through unorthodox means. You know, of course, that Boko Haram, for example, they do not recognize the official borders of Nigeria. They come into our country through Chad, through Niger Republic, where they have cells. They come in just the way they like and they go back. So what this has taught us is to farm up the process of delivering the national ID card to every Nigerian, because every Nigerian is eligible to it. But we've made it extremely difficult for people to get this national ID card. We have to do something about that. And then we must find ways of identifying the bad boys amongst us, the terrorists, the bandits. A lot of them are not Nigerians. So many people will be worried, or Americans will be worried, that some people carrying the Nigerian passport are actually not Nigerians.
Yeah.
And they could come into their country to foment trouble. So they are looking...
Which provokes the question of, how did they get these passports in the first place?
Yes, of course. What is it? Many people, you see, a lot of people, because we look like, and even the ECOWAS protocol has not really helped much. The free movement that ECOWAS permits between countries within the sub-region makes us wide open. People coming. If you see someone from northern Ghana, for example, you are most likely to think that it's
Volta region,
yes, you are more likely to think it's a Nigerian. If you see a Nigerian, for example, he comes into Katsina State, where we have different points through which you can come into our country, you are likely to think that, oh, this Nigerian is...
And of course...
And some of them speak our languages fluently.
And to think that Nigeria in the sub-region is the only country affected. Big deal.
Yeah, but yes, because one, if there's any country that is most troubled by terrorism in that sub-region, it is Nigeria. Ghana has no problem of terrorism. They are worried that bad people could come into their country after illegally getting hold of a Nigerian passport.
That's it.
You look at Cameroon. Cameroon, yes, Boko Haram harasses them now and again, but they don't have a big terrorism problem like we have. Even Chad. Chad has been able to cut Boko Haram to size. This explains why they are looking in the direction of Nigeria.
Makes you wonder how we got to this stage. Before we bury it, do you see President Trump? He has won his the war against removing him. Will he play ball if we behave?
I think he would, but it will depend on what we are putting on the table. Yes, I think he would.
I think Pompeo has offered us hope that this matter will be looked into, and I've not seen any reason to believe that Trump is an enemy of Nigeria. From the day our president was elected, he invited him, he sat him down and said, look, I'm going to assist you. The weapons that we didn't sell to you, that Obama, who was supposed to be an African, didn't sell to you, I will sell to you. I will help you to defeat terror in your country. And they are doing that. The Tucano jets will come into our country by July next year.
I hear we must go. We must go. Well, the debate must continue. That's the essence of the show. You know, the late British talk show host and journalist David Frost said, let me quote him, "Diplomacy is the art of letting someone else have his way." This quote may sound hackneyed or overused, but it captures the essence here. The United States again has warned that the $321 million General Sani Abacha loot, soon to be returned to the country, must be placed in an account and not be relooted, or else Nigeria would be made to repay it. According to Morgan Ortagus, spokesperson for the United States State Department, this was one of the terms of the agreements reached between the U.S., the island of Jersey, and the Nigerian authorities. The federal government says it is deploying the money to fixing the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, amongst others. Cyril, the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. Fixing it is close to 20 plus years old.
I remember one of those days on radio, you said it was Nigeria's famished road. Yes, you know, because it keeps on eating and never gets satisfied. Yes. And it has become really a metaphor for where we are as a nation. We are on a journey that we appear never
because
to arrive at.
Because a child born in 1999 would still today, as an adult, realize the road is still unfixed.
Yes. And I would have thought that, you know, I mean, in a manner of speaking, it looks somewhat embarrassing that several years after Abacha died, you know, these loots are coming back and we are now receiving these monies with conditions attached. I think it's because they've learned the lessons from previous experiences where these monies were released and were relooted. I would have even thought that, you know, the contractors handling these projects will be receiving direct funding, perhaps. But whatever the case is, I think that there is now an element of evaluation, third-party involvement, not interference, but involvement in monitoring and evaluating how the projects are going. It's not just Lagos, but I think the project actually
yeah, Ikorekpene Road, Aba. No, Aba Ikorekpene, okay. It's still part of it.
Okay, part of it. But I think that the second Niger Bridge and so on.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I think the Abuja Kano Road also.
Yeah.
So these are projects that are critical to economic development. We say a lot about all the monies that they're talking about going to borrow from China are to fund infrastructure. Year in, year out, our budgets are lopsided. You have 80%, 70%, 90% being voted to do with recurrent expenditure that will be spent completely. And then you vote a paltry sum for infrastructure that you need so much, without which you cannot gain economic salvation. You vote so little to it, and then in the end, ministers come and tell you that they didn't even get up to half of what they were supposed to get. So in the end, all our vaunted dreams and visions and big hopes and ambitions about economic development remain pipe-bomb dreams. Because why? We see a lot of big things, but the vehicle, the material vehicle to translate these visions into reality are absent. So interventions of this kind are good. When the money comes, let us afford the basic integrity, Citizen Jones, that it will take to faithfully and religiously devote these monies to these projects within the stipulated time limit to make sure that, you know, they are delivered. It is important because I think the ministers of foreign affairs and the AGF, like you said earlier on, were in the US to sign this. It's a trilateral agreement.
Oh yeah.
The US government, ourselves, and then, you know, the
New Jersey.
Yes, and
Jersey.
The island
Jersey
of
Island. Jersey Island.
The island of Jersey. So it's good. Let there be a second or third eye, seeing how these monies move and what they're being put into. Without that, I don't have the hope that, you know, the money that have been looted and returned will not be looted.
One great thing to learn here, Jide, is that monies were actually looted.
Yes, monies were looted. I see former Chief Security Officer of the late Abacha, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, lying through his teeth.
Sorry. No, I know they take anything from me. He say the money will not be Abacha.
He said the even is you see, Al-Mustafa was in prison.
Oh,
he was in prison when the Obasanjo regime resolved to settle this matter out of court because the Abacha family and their lawyers kind of were obstructing the release of monies that we had identified was stolen and kept in foreign banks. So at the end of the day, we resolved because the cost of litigation was so high and Obasanjo was not going to allow that to last forever. It was then resolved that, okay, we are going to surrender a fraction of the money stolen to the family to let them keep it.
Okay.
And I think it was $2 billion that we surrendered to them, and then we got $4 billion at that time. So even after we collected all of that, more money stolen by Abacha are still being discovered. Yeah. On December 4, 2017, December 2014. Hold on first.
Okay.
December 2014, a Swiss court ruled that the monies amounting to $312 million kept by the Abacha family in the country should be released to the Nigerian government on the condition that the World Bank will monitor the use of the money. Now, back and forth after that. But by December 2017, 3 years after, the Swiss government and the Nigerian government agreed that, for the money to be released
to it.
Yes.
Remember the federal government.
Yeah, to the federal. Remember, the court ruled that the Swiss government must release it to Nigeria, December 2014. By 2017, everything had been perfected. The three countries came together. The two countries came together for the money to be released. So the point I'm making is, Abacha discovered so many countries in the world.
Abacha?
Yes, where he could actually stash these monies undetected. So there were countries like Jersey Islands, Liechtenstein. We never knew. We never knew that those countries were there, and monies were kept there.
Jersey Island, my mind went to New Jersey.
No,
you don't blame me. You don't blame me.
Now the thing is, so even this last one, yes, Jersey Island, some monies had been found in Liechtenstein or Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Yes. So we didn't know that these countries were there. The good thing, Mustafa can lie from now till kingdom come, but the truth is, Nigerians are not so forgetful.
Hi.
Nigerians are not so a lot of us are forgetful, really. We hear stories that, it's because he's dead that this is happening. But he's not the first president to die. Yaradua died. Up to today, nobody has heard that money was kept somewhere by him. That's a president that we lost. He would have been a fantastic president if not for his bad health. Shehu Shagari was president for 4 years plus. He died.
We never heard.
No, we have not heard. Somebody died, and you are now telling us that it's because he's dead. Of course, we have some former president who will still die. Before our eyes, we will see that this kind of monstrous sums of money that these people are discovering will not be discovered in their name. Yes, corruption is still on. We are still stealing money. I hope we can find a way, to stop these people stealing. But the good thing is that at least now we can point to what they are going to use the Abacha loot to do. It's a good thing. That's something that excites me. That road will be completed because the president has told them you must complete it this year. That road will be completed. The agony that people are going through, some people getting home 2 a.m. will end.
Let me rub this in here. Jide, I come from Akwa Ibom, and I know say you never get there by road. Now only air you dey fly. Rather than go through...
Because of fear kidnappers.
Make I not talk again. So I'm saying rather than go through to Ikorekpene from Aba, which used to be the original road, we have to go in a circuitous manner through Umuahia, heartland of Imo, through Umuahia into Ikorekpene. Crazy.
Because of the state of the road?
Oh, yeah.
So,
these people where you talk about... Sorry.
The good thing is, at least we will be able to point out, at the end of the day, when the roads are completed, we'll be able to say, they use Abacha loot to complete. Every time that Malami goes to sign those deals, it is called Abacha loot. It is not called Dezane loot. It is not called Babajide loot. It's Abacha loot. That's what it is, because it's told.
No. If you loot an entire news, it
was a champion looter. Nobody can deny that.
Please, my intervention.
Have you ever seen such a looter?
Never.
Amen.
My intervention would be that, when we build infrastructure with looted funds, with money that's repatriated to Nigeria, it is a monument. It is not just about our money is back.
Don't tell me made them name the roads after them.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Somehow, the history will be written.
Yes.
I know.
It is to the dishonor. It was the dishonor of their memory.
Sure, where I come from, my house is close to a seaport where, colonial masters used to bring.
It's from Buguma.
Oh, Krika.
The street
tell them where you are from.
I've told them.
My street in Okrika is called ATC. ATC is African. Yes, African Trading Company.
Okay.
That we don't call it African Trading Company Road does not mean that somebody won't ask one day what is the meaning of ATC.
Okay.
That was where palm produce were exported to Europe, and they brought in second-hand clothing So today, we call it Okreka.
In exchange for people who own
No, of course. So that name, Okreka, came from...
They call it
Okay.
Okrika.
Yeah.
But the correct pronunciation is Okrika.
Not true.
As a matter of fact, Okrika itself is a
So,
corruption.
don't leave us with something to remember. But
Sure, of
but
course.
go on.
But
Yeah.
so this is history.
Yeah.
If you tie a road, if you build a stadium, it is not for fun. Generations coming will realize.
That's it.
Yes. So it is important that we don't just take these monies. We are taking them and we are building roads where we're advancing our infrastructure. It will, in 100 years time, it will be a pointer to why such gargantuan kleptomania
Yeah.
should not be repeated in our national
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So I think it's important, and he's not the only one actually.
Oh yeah. No,
Unprecedented.
but let's say he's a metaphor for what has been going on.
Or what is
Yes,
still
of
going
course.
on.
And
Of
what
course,
is
of
still
course.
What
going
is still
on.
going on.
Of course.
Which, of course, raised the question, look, you must deploy this money to some useful project.
Sure.
He was doing all of that. He was a military president. Nobody could question him. You know, nobody could
But
question
he could
him.
have been your president.
Nobody could question him because he was a military president. I don't think any civilian can manage to steal that much.
On that scale.
In any case, Nigeria is signing deals with countries that will ensure that you are unable to steal at that level in today's age. Even Dubai, that they used to go to stash money.
I think we signed a
we signed a
bilateral.
deal with them. Yes, we can exchange prisoners.
That's it.
Right now, we can exchange prisoners. We can repatriate looted funds. You know, so we are tightening the noose.
A governor denied funds they say belong to him there.
It's a lot more
I don't know
difficult
his
for
name,
him.
sorry.
Them now, it's a lot more difficult for them.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So, and that's what
Go
we should
somewhere
perfect the
else.
system, make it difficult, make corruption not only unattractive but extremely difficult.
No, but Jide, seriously, when we talk serious, make we also look back. Lagos-Ibadan expressway, serial, the busiest road in West Africa.
Yes.
If you look at it,
The economic artery of our country.
20 years on, the road is still a famished road.
That road is part of the reasons why
Okay.
the Nigerian economy continues to underperform. When people come to Lagos, let's assume when container don't land, when people come, that is the gateway for shipping those things to other parts of the country, particularly the hinterland. But what happens? For as long as that road is in shambles, it takes something away from our economic potential. It is true. You see, we need to begin to understand the philosophical basis for certain things. A road is not just for cars to drive on.
Yeah.
It does something. Imagine what it would look like if we finish the Abuja Kano road. You can buy a basket of oranges in Boko, Benue State, for 20 naira, for 15 naira. Sometimes they'll even say, "Oga, take and go." But that same bag of in the same country, maybe after 14 hours of travel, that same basket of oranges becomes 5,000 naira. Why is it so? It is because
Road.
You can't move
yes,
goods and services.
you cannot.
Yeah.
That is even talking about raw materials. We've not even talked about moving from raw materials to industrialized goods. We still need roads to get that done.
You see the thing, I don't want us to overplay the role of these roads. The reason that road deteriorated
Can you really
was
overplay
because, hold on, I'm heading somewhere. The reason that road deteriorated, you know how that road used to be. The reason that road deteriorated is because the rail system collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, truckers, that's the road that they use. People moving petroleum products from Lagos to the north. In the past, petroleum products used to be moved by rail. I will stay in a lorry and I will see petroleum products being moved by NNPC. You see NNPC written on them.
Oh, yeah.
We are moving everything. The roads that we build, those roads are not designed to carry dead weight. Trailers will park on the road and you want the roads to survive. Go and look at the bad portions of that road. You see clearly that it is the trailers. It is those truckers that damage the undulating portions of the road. So now it's a good thing that we are focusing on rail. The president is concerned about rail, focusing on rail, investing on rail transport. That will ease the pressure on our road, and hopefully that road can last many, many more years. We won't need to look at the Kano Highway Kano-Kaduna Highway, used to be the best road in the country in around 1991, 92. Perfect road, but go there and see it today.
Cyril, my history, I might sound a little old school, and why not? I remember we started going down when you made the late Dasuki chairman, Nigerian Railway Corporation, and at the same time, he was the man charged with bringing trailers down south. Okay, let the debate continue. Okay, we can move on now.
No.
Okay, still to come, Nigerian Air Force unleashes new killing machines against Boko Haram, just as Governor Zulum orders massive reconstruction of communities destroyed by terrorists. Please stay ahead. Stay on, please. Okay then, you know, the war on insurgency is as debilitating as it is prostrate. It's never a conventional enterprise. And so when a milestone is reached in the counter-insurgency campaign, a big sigh of relief is heaved. The Nigerian Air Force, in invoking Operation Rattlesnake on Boko Haram elements, says it neutralized some Islamic State West African province ISWAP fighters at their hideout in Kolade-Otitoju, I hope I got that right, on the fringes of Lake Chad in northern part of Borno State. Meanwhile, Governor Zulum has ordered a massive reconstruction of communities destroyed in his domain by terrorists. But first, let's give you a peep into the air capabilities of the Nigerian Air Force, and you'll be so amazed. Watch on. Gentlemen, you know, after watching that, I'm convinced it is possible.
No, it is possible. With increased capability on the part of the Air Force, on the part of the Army, we can deal a decisive blow on the enemy. always demanded for game-changing weapons. Game-changing weapons are not light weapons. They are weapons that cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But the moment you unleash them, the enemy will know the difference. And those game-changing weapons will also help you to save the lives of your troops. The good thing about the MI-171E that the Air Force has acquired is the fact that it can play multiple roles. It can be used for troop insertion. It can even be used for troop evacuation. It can be used as an attack helicopter. It can be used as an air ambulance because it can accommodate 6 stretchers. So in the course of the war, if things don't go according to plan, your troops are injured, you can easily evacuate troops from that.
Deploying these
yes,
choppers.
and you can, yes, the M171. You can then also insert troops at a location where you want to gain an advantage over the enemy, because it can carry 26 troops at once, and it can deliver weapons. It can deliver its weapons like bombs and rockets. This is what we need. The president has assisted the chief of air staff to have access to these weapons, but we are encouraging him to do even more. I can't wait for the Tucano bombers to come, because I know the weapons that the Tucanos carry. The Tucano is 20 mm cannons. This 20 mm cannon can deliver 650 rounds in a minute.
Wow.
Yes. It can deliver 650 rounds in a minute.
Jide, you are not talking about video films. We are talking about live ammunitions.
Yes,
Live
and we have
ammunitions.
drones as well. The video didn't get to the point where you will have seen drone, the Nigerian Air Force drone, delivering
Pictures
rockets.
And, oh, really?
Yes, dropping rockets on the enemy. So sometimes when I see these things, it makes me happy. I know it's not the best that we can find, but I'm happy that in spite of the difficulty to buy weapons, we are doing something. We are trying our best just to gain an edge over the enemy.
Cyril, this is not an attempt to raise passion or emotion. Let me take you rather sadly back. When the coup, Oka coup, came, and then you killed a cream of Nigeria's best fighter pilots. You remember Benekele, Ahura?
It's not Okaku, you are talking about the Vatsa coup. That was
the supposed Vatsa coup. Okay, yeah. And the German government
1986.
came begging the Babangida government, please release that guy to us. That's Benekele. What do I mean? The Nigerian Air Force ranks amongst the best on the planet, given the right inspiration and whatever.
Akwashiki, all of them.
Akwashiki, I remember. You know, the challenge has always been that, right from the police upwards,
All right, so sorry, we have the spokesman of the Nigerian Air Force. I'm talking about Air Commodore IBIKUNLE Daramola. How do you do, sir?
I'm very fine, thank
Welcome,
you. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Thank you, Babajide.
All right then. So here we are. We can do magic, and I'm using magic loosely now, from now on, from the air.
Yes, the important thing about air power is having the right platforms. For instance, the Agusta 109 is a lightweight, twin-engine, 8-seat, multipurpose helicopter. We had about 6 of them before. They were acquired in 2009. However, these were not configured specifically for weapon delivery and to perform in the combat role. Before now, through research and development, we're able to mount Browning machine guns. So we had backdoor gunners on them, and they were used in operations against bandits and other criminal elements.
Okay.
But the acquisition of the A109E military version, which is called the A109 Power, that has weapon systems that are integrated to the aircraft, and therefore its rockets and guns are integrated into the weapon system of the aircraft and is able to do considerably more damage, and therefore, able to impact more on the adversaries, all the criminal elements. So this has been a game changer. 2 were acquired in April last year, and the other 2 were inducted yesterday by Mr. President.
Okay, so what are your major problem areas, if you might share them?
Excuse me, I didn't hear that.
What are your major problem areas, if you share them with us?
Okay, for instance, it has always been getting the right platforms for us to be able to effectively and efficiently, in a timely manner, employ air power.
Okay.
Well, for the past 5 years or so, the federal government has done immensely. We have received already 22 aircraft that have been inducted into the Nigerian Air Force. And of course, as you know, another 16 are being expected, including the 12 Super Tucano, 3 JF-17 Thunder, and another Mi-17. So gradually, those areas of deficit are being met by the immense support given to the Nigerian Air Force by the federal government. By no means are we there. For instance, the additional assets would be required, but there is never a time that you would say you would have everything you need per time. But these aircraft that have come in, for instance, the 4 Augusta 109 Power, will add significant impetus to operations in the Northwest, especially because they will be employed in that role, but also in other areas where internal security operations are going, and there's a requirement for such kind of power that are not necessarily traditional to the Nigerian Air Force.
Okay. What about intel?
Intelligence is critical, especially to counterinsurgency operations, counterterrorism operations, they are intelligence-led operations. And so that is why, over time, the intelligence agencies have come together under the ambit of the Intelligence Fusion Cell, where intelligence is shared from all the security agencies, the military intelligence, and then, of course, the other security agencies, bring intelligence together, human intelligence and other forms of intelligence, including the Nigerian Air Force intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms. That is another area, of course, of challenge, because additional ISR platforms are required. And for instance, the Super Tucano, 6 of them will be installed with forward-looking infrared. So they have surveillance capability in and of themselves. And so this will also add impetus. So the area being covered that requires to be surveilled is quite large. The number of ISR assets are not necessarily sufficient. But of the 36,000 hours that have been flown for the past 5 years in operations in the Northeast, 80% have been intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. To try and make sure the intelligence obtained is key to, it's accurate in terms of the combat attack operations that are carried out, so that we do not have cases of fratricide or any case of bombing the wrong target.
Okay.
So intelligence is critical, human intelligence to complement the ISR and other forms of intelligence. And that is where also, the citizen participation comes in, whether in the Northeast or the Northwest. The populace must also come forward to provide useful intelligence that will help the Nigerian Air Force, the armed forces, and other security agencies in dealing with threats.
Yeah, Commodore IBIKUNLE DARAMOLA, we thank you very kindly for your time. Wish you well.
Very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Cyril, so when you hear things like this, it will make your leg and head swell,
Yes, a quick look at the history of warfare will tell you that, and again, looking at it from, let's say, World War I, but particularly World War II, down to the present time.
Yeah, as if you were there. Go on.
You would agree with me. The facts are there. You'd agree with me that the provision of visionary leadership and as well as the availability of what you need to get the result you require has always, no war has been won whose when the victors are short of what they need to win, to to win. As a matter of fact, if you look at what the Air Force has been doing in the past 3 years, up to now, they have been the ones always taking the battle to the doorstep of the enemy, the continuous air bombardment. And one can only imagine what more they can do with equipment of this kind. The Augusta helicopters are particularly game changers in warfare. At a time when it would at least appear to us that the Air Force, we still have monopoly over the air component of
because they are not, the enemy is not
of course, it's not in the air and cannot be ostensibly. So this is an advantage that we must capitalize on and use to maximum advantage.
Okay.
Now, if you look, yes, of course, if you look at armies all over, nations, across, defense systems across the world, defense systems, there must always be that particular place where every country must build its area of core strength.
Okay.
In our instance, given that we have monopoly in the air, we must build on that strength very effectively. And like Jide said, we can't wait, between our June next year when those Tucano planes come
After
in.
listening to you painfully, my mind begins to ask me, is there going to be a World War III? Albert Einstein said, I don't know what they are going to use for World War III, but World War IV will be sticks and stones. But that's, by the way, the second leg of the story is about Governor Zulum, who has ordered the rehabilitation of destroyed communities in the environment.
In Borno State.
In Borno, yeah.
Boko Haram doesn't just kill our people. They destroy all government buildings. They set ablaze people's homes and render the people homeless. That's why Borno State still grapples with serious problem of IDPs. You go to Monguno, you go to Dalori, there are about more than 1 million people living outside of their ancestral homelands because of the problem of Boko Haram. So the governor has gone to Ganze. He is also the sort of person who goes to even dangerous areas. Gone to Ganze. Ganze is in Borno North, and he has ordered the...
I hear he's a different shade of governor, if you see what I mean.
No, he's an unusual governor. Zulum is an unusual governor.
Just like your Makinde.
He travels economy, and he is just a hands-on kind of governor.
So this is not about being a populist.
No, he's
governor.
not interested in populism. He just wants to work.
Okay.
He's just a man in a hurry. He wants to work. He wants to. In 100 days, he delivered schools, primary school story building with air conditioners and all, in just under 100 days. And the people like him because they can see a very practical
So it
human
can be
being.
done.
I wanted to
It can be
interview
done.
him in his office. He said, no, you can't interview me in my office. Let's go and see the work that I've done. Because if you interview me in the office, you will not be able to verify what I've done.
That's pragmatism.
That's a man sure of the work that he has done.
Okay.
He knows that his work...
Nobody say
will
to
speak for
tar
him.
1 kilometer road,
Yes,
you
and
carry
make so
band
much
and so on.
noise,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not the kind of person that he is. And it's accessible. The other day, he said, dialysis. Don't take money from people for dialysis anymore. And we know, even here in Lagos, dialysis costs as much as 50,000 or more.
They say they think 9 they kill many people.
And you must do it. You must do it every week. It is even the thought of the money that kills many people.
Oh, yeah.
So this governor said, no, make it free in my state.
You know what my people would say? You excuse this, make I not forget. What does it mean? You say sickness don't kill person, na treatment can't kill. No,
Okay. When you think of the money, that you spend, so we can't wait. And then it's laid the foundation of schools, higher school and housing project in Monguno. Monguno is also in BORNO North. I think it's the last local government to the border with Chad. So this man clearly promises a lot. I think that the people of Borno State are very lucky at this time to have a governor like this. Sometimes I tell myself, if there is peace in that place, how far will this governor go? Because in the whole of the Northeast, there is no overhead bridge. He is about to build an overhead bridge in the custom area of Maiduguri. I'm saying...
Needfully so.
Yes, because that place is a densely populated part of town.
Okay.
On current form, this is the best governor in our country. And people talk about him. There are people who are already even imagining even bigger responsibilities for him. But it's not that sort of person. You know,
no campaign here. But
no, it's not. It's not even thinking. He is focused. He's focused on his work.
Yeah.
He's not interested in that.
I would love a governor who does his job irrespective of whether there is a second term or not.
He's doing that work like tomorrow doesn't exist. Yeah. That's the way. That's Zulum's approach. And
Cyril, let's quickly take it home. It can be better. It is possible. That's the thrust, one thread that runs through all the stories we have.
No, of course, yes.
It is possible.
You were saying Jide shouldn't campaign. I could even do worse because, you know, you rightly mentioned governors Makinde, Governor Zulum, and then the one in Zamfara too, Matawale.
These solve the security problem.
These governors are clearly blazing a trail. They are clearly different from the rest. I said it the other day on paper from breakfast show. They are different, and I'm glad that, you know, in our lifetime we can see this happen. Look, the governor of Borno State. Many people don't even know his background. Yes. You know, as a professor, was a taxi driver.
Oh yeah.
Then they saw him and said, "Come and be commissioner." He wasn't even vying to be governor of the state anyway.
They said they had gone governor.
He was living in a rented house up to the time he won the primaries.
Of course. It was when...
and won Jalopi.
So this is a man that would say, even as a professor, instead of taking money from students, let him be driving bus and taxi to augment his salary.
He drove taxi here in Lagos.
He's
the son of an imam, a cleric.
So
very poor background, but
we must.
I think the poor people, if they get an opportunity to serve our people, they will work for the majority of the people. That is the example that we see. I'm not saying that all the time that's what happens.
This is not saying that being poor makes you licentious. I beg, you know.
Now you sabi, but this governor comes from a poor background.
Okay.
And he is clearly working for the poorest of the poor.
You see, what's true is true. There's nothing in the middle. Yeah. Cyril, how do you sign out?
Well, I am happy. It's been a great week for me.
Oh yeah.
It can only get better.
Yeah, it can only get better. And tell you the new ADC to his governor. Pretty woman, na lawyer.
Why are you obsessed with the woman?
No. I just admire her.
Okay.
It is possible. It is possible. The first and only female ADC. No. Come on.
You admire her.
Okay. We must go. Enjoy your Friday. And from here, on behalf of the Backroom Boys, we say thank you for joining us. But if you did miss any part of this program, watch on other platforms. We'll display on the station, on the tube rather, screen for you, and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. The feedback channel remains the same. I'm Citizen Jones Usain. Bye-bye now. Take care.